Right, hey guys, hello and welcome to Naveed for Speed. Behind me you see the new McLaren 750S here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and I've just been shown around it. I've been shown the different changes to the car over the 720S, and I'll take you through some of the changes that you can see from the exterior and also some of the changes that are under the skin. And here it is. This is the McLaren 750S, currently, as you can see here, in Mantis Green. And of course this car, although from immediate glance it looks a lot like the McLaren 720S, but this car has 30% changes over the 720S. And because the car is a continuation of the 720S, it's the next step in their Super Series, the car is going to look quite similar. This car is known as the benchmark beaten. What was the benchmark? The benchmark was the McLaren 720S, and that's a pretty difficult benchmark to beat anyway, because the car was very light and powerful. But this car has improvements over that car. Firstly, with the power, this car has 740 horsepower compared to the 720S, which had 710 horsepower, and it's also up 30 newton meters of torque, up to 800. So performance wise this car should be a lot better. But also McLaren decided to focus on other changes as well, including the handling and the driving dynamics and just basically the feel of the car, how it's going to feel to drive. But let's take a look at the exterior of the car. So if we start at the front here, you can see that there's changes here in the front splitter. The front splitter is noticeably larger, and of course you can also see the full front bumper has been redesigned. That is to channel air through these side bits here and feed it in through the radiators. There's 4 radiators in this car, 2 at the front and 2 at the rear, and of course because the car has more power, the car requires more cooling. You'll also notice that the front headlights here, they are slightly narrower than the McLaren 720S, but they're still basically the same design, and I quite like this new setup. It just looks a lot more sharper, a lot more sleek, and it still channels all the air for cooling. As we move towards the side of the car, the side profile of the car is basically the same as the 720S. That same sort of nice and classy smooth side. You do get, again, same with the 720S, you get the door handle underneath here, which is, where is it? There we are. This car is the convertible, so it does look slightly different to the coupe, but of course there's the interior as well. We'll have a look at the interior in a second, but for now I'll just show you the exterior, because we're gonna shut this door and we're gonna move over to the back of the car where there's more changes. There you can see those new design alloy wheels. So this new design alloy wheel saves 2 kilograms over the overall weight of the McLaren 720S, and therefore altogether this car has a 30 kilogram weight saving over the 720S. At the back of the car you'll notice the big change is actually this mesh grille. Now that's there again for cooling. You've got more power, so you need more cooling, and in conjunction with this rear wing, now you'll see that the rear wing is actually larger than the rear wing of the 720S. It's actually more in line with the rear wing of the 765 LT, and that's to increase the downforce. Now the downforce improvement over the 720S is 5%. But the biggest change is what they've done to the exhaust. So now you get this sort of twin exhaust in the middle, in the center, and that exhaust is also lighter as well, so it gives a slightly better exhaust note as well, and you get basically a much more refined noise and therefore a much better experience when driving the car. As we move towards the inside of the car, there are significant changes inside the car as well. So we'll open the door again and we'll show you the steering wheel and the binnacle instrument cluster in the front. This all sort of moves together with the steering wheel, so you always get that view of your instruments. In fact, I'll show you a shot. If you're looking at it from the driver's perspective, you always see the information that you need to see in front of you. So the binnacle is basically there so that you can change your settings, your handling and your drivetrain settings without having to take your hand off the steering wheel. You simply just press these buttons and you can change. Same on this side. Well, if you're using your other hand, same on this side, you can just sort of click and you can change all your driver settings. In the center console, the infotainment system, now that's changed as well, and for the first time you get Apple CarPlay as standard in the car. one of the biggest differences to the McLaren 750S over the McLaren 720S is now you get a McLaren button, an MCL button. The reason for that is you, with all the changes that you make on the drivetrain, on the handling of the car, of the powertrain, you can save those settings, your preferred settings. So for example, if you like to have the car in comfort mode and also have the drivetrain in sport mode, then you can save those settings and you can immediately come back to them whenever you like. These seats are slightly different as well, you might have noticed. These are basically the seats from the McLaren P1, and of course they're there to save weight as well, and there's also weight saving in the windscreen too. So basically this car is not that much different to the McLaren 720S if you in the grand scheme of things, but the differences that those changes make to the driving experience is so much better. It gives a much more refined experience. Altogether then, the basic package is still the same as the McLaren 720S. You still have that amazing looks, you still have the same performance, but just improved. You've got more power, you've got less weight, and you basically got a more dynamic drive. The steering angle has been adjusted as well, so it's now sharper. It makes it a bit more sporty, definitely a lot better for track use, and the gear ratios have been changed as well, so the car will just fly through those gears a lot quicker. So overall, the 750S has basically taken that amazing performance that you get in the 720S and just taking it one step further, and in doing so it's improved on a car which is already very difficult to improve. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think about the 750S in the comment section below. You can check out some of my other videos here, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.